Well, guys, this is an exciting day for a music nerd like me because we are in Memphis. Yes, we made the 3-hour drive and we are here at Elvis Presley's home touring Graceland. I cannot wait to see the Jungle Room. I've only seen pictures of it online, but it looks incredible. And we got special tickets today so we can tour Elvis's planes and cars and a special movie exhibit that they have featured here from the Elvis movie. So I am just so excited. So I'm going to take you through Graceland. Then we're going to try to tour Sun Studios as well as Beale Street today. So we're hitting up all the historic spots here in Memphis. So this is it. We just got off the little tour bus that took us from the waiting area where we saw a little short film about Elvis. And now we are here at the Graceland Mansion. How cool is this? This place is absolutely gorgeous. It's amazing to get to stand here and to be in the main drive. I am absolutely excited about this. This is going to be a great tour. So no video recording was allowed at all on property. Now, I did sneak a little video here and there when I didn't feel like I was being stared down by a guard, but I have lots of photos to show you. And the first one up is this fabulous stained glass window right above the main door when you enter Graceland. I just love that P. Now, this was probably my favorite room in the whole house, and I know a lot of you are saying, wait, Katie, what about the Jungle Room? Well, yes, the Jungle Room was very cool and very iconic, but I love the colorfulness and workmanship on these stained glass peacocks. They are just so cool and so Elvis. Now, if you look past the peacocks, you'll see a white piano, and that piano is pretty significant because that is the piano that Elvis would play one more time before passing away in his home. Well, isn't this little clock so much fun? I love the mid-century modern design of it with that chevron base. And of course, the hands are so cool. I love the design of the clock dial with the world globe. Of course, it is a world clock, so anywhere in the world you would know exactly what time it is. And boy, am I on the hunt for one of these. This was one of the coolest little display pieces in Elvis's home. Now, every room was just as over the top and wild as the next. And I have to say, this dining room chandelier was amazing. This photo is not doing it justice at all. I love the alcoves in the back filled with all kinds of vintage goodies. And of course, all that gorgeous servingware on the table. Now, the way they did the tour was you'd enter through the main door and you'd single file through all of the rooms pretty quickly. They were very strict about you moving along. So unfortunately, I didn't get very many good pictures of each of these rooms, but you kind of get the idea of how cool this place was. So the thing that amazed me about Elvis's home was the sheer volume of different patterns of carpet everywhere you looked, including the kitchen. Now, this was a cool space because it was just so mid-century modern with that yellow fridge and the oven with the cool dial. I just loved this space. It would have been quite the kitchen back in the day. Woohoo! We've made it to the Jungle Room. Oh my gosh, this was the coolest thing to see in person. I tell you what, guys, the photos are not doing this place justice. Look at the carving on the chairs. Every chair had detailed jungle-themed carving. I love all the faux plants with the stone-stacked wall. Here's a little bit of a better photo of the room. It is rather large, and that green shag carpeting, man, oh man, what a place to be. This bar room was crazy cool. It had records and TVs, and oh my word, Elvis had a lot of TVs in his house. You're looking at 3 of them right down here, but of course in every room, including the kitchen, there was a TV, and I love the stone tile in here. That yellow is just awesome. So of course not every room was to my taste or style preferences, but I have to say every room was really cool and unique. Just being in Elvis's home was such an experience, and this room in particular really captured my attention because of the fabric that was floor to ceiling. Now this fabric, if I had to put a word to it, kind of reminded me a little bit of those baskets that are made from individual rolls of old magazines. kind of had that look. Now, I believe that this room is significant because the pool table was one of the first big and expensive purchases that Elvis bought for his new home. The room you're looking at now is not actually located in the main home. This is just outside the main home past the pool, but this is Elvis's father's office. And why did I photograph it? Well, I loved all that industrial mid-century modern office furniture. It's right up my alley. Now, for all of you watching at home, you're probably looking at this photograph and going, Katie, why is this so blurry? What is it that I'm looking at? Well, this was a little hard to photograph. It was a piece of ephemera behind museum glass. But what you're looking at is an itemized bill for some of the things in Elvis's home. So you can actually see what he paid back in the day for pool tables, pools, furniture, all kinds of things, TVs. It is crazy the amount of money he spent on Graceland. Oh my word, I tell you, what an incredible place. When you have a piano outside of your racquetball court, I would say you're doing pretty well in life. But wow, this was amazing. I had no idea that Elvis had a shooting range or a racquetball court in his home. So this is the back of Graceland. Oh my gosh, it's stunning, and the inside is even more opulent. We have just had the best time going through there. Now, they don't allow recording inside, so I'm kind of being a little stealthy here. We are headed into the garage. Jeffrey, this has been so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was your favorite room?
My favorite room. That's really tricky. I do like the jungle room. It's very intimate and interesting. I also liked, let's see. Well, we didn't get to go upstairs. Who knows what's up there? But
yeah. I love the peacocks, the big stained glass.
The stained glass was really awesome as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very difficult to choose.
So this is Elvis's famous pink Cadillac. How awesome is that? This is Presley's Motors, and there are tons of Elvis cars in here, and I am just so thrilled I get to be in here. These are all so absolutely incredible. I can't believe it, but seeing the pink Cadillac, how awesome. Oh my gosh, look at this. Elvis's gold diamond coin necklace and diamond ring. How fantastic is that? All of Elvis's jewelry, well, I wouldn't say all, but a lot of it is on display here, and I think that is just amazing. Look at these.
Look at those sunglasses.
So these are the sunglasses.
I want a pair.
I want a pair too. I mean, you'd be looking mighty slick. Then what is over here? We've got Elvis's Aloha pendant. Oh, how cool. So once you tour Graceland, you have an opportunity to go through several museums about Elvis's life. And let me tell you folks, they are huge. You could easily spend a whole day here. Now, when I think Elvis, I think iconic costumes. And this room had all of his famous show wear from Vegas and on. Oh my gosh, this was so cool to see. I love how they have everything displayed in their individual lighted boxes. Wow, I mean, this was incredible. And all the sparkle and the glitz and the glam, I don't know, it just made me so happy. It was really fun to look at all of these iconic Elvis outfits. Now, out of all the Elvis artifacts that I got to see in these museums, this by far takes the cake. I have read so much about this tablecloth contract that Tom Parker signed without Elvis's knowledge, bonding him to play 5 years at the International, which is now the Westgate, with the caveat that Tom Parker's gambling debt would be completely erased. This was one of the most interesting things to see here at the museum, and I was blown away. So I purchased special tickets so that we could visit Graceland and see this exhibit here, which is the making of the movie Elvis. What you're looking at right now is the original scripts for the movie signed by the cast and crew. So cool. But I have to admit something to you folks. Before the movie, I was never a big Elvis fan. Of course, I appreciated Elvis's influence on rock and roll and music history, but I never really got into his music. And if it weren't for this movie, I would still be just a casual Elvis listener. So it was so cool to come in here and see a little behind the scenes sneak peek of how they made the costumes and the sets and all the things related to the Elvis movie that really helped me get into Elvis, and I have completely gone down a rabbit hole researching his life and influence on music history. So this exhibit was really cool because it showcased all these behind the scenes photographs of how they put together the set and did the costumes. And one of the things that amazed me is the sheer volume of research they did to recreate Beale Street to make it look like it did back in its heyday. And one of the things they did was recreate the famous Club Handy where Elvis and B.B. King hung out, and I think that Club Handy sign is so cool because it looks like the original one on Beale Street. Here are some of the costumes worn in the movie, and this is Big Mama Thornton's costume. Now, she's important because she influenced Elvis greatly with her music, originally recording Hound Dog and Ball and Chain. Check out Little Richard back there. This photograph I thought was really cool because it shows them recreating Beale Street for the movie and talks about the incredible amount of research they had to do to make sure it was period accurate. And Beale Street is incredibly important because so many blues artists were founded there, and Elvis was influenced by artists like Big Mama Thornton, Little Richard, and B.B. King, and so many other greats who performed in many clubs along Beale Street back in the day. So we have made it to Beale Street. This is just so cool. This is really the birthplace of blues. This is amazing to see all of these neon signs. We are going to go eat at the Pig on Beale. I've heard lots about the Pig. Heard it's a wonderful barbecue joint. And you got to have Memphis barbecue, right, when you're in Memphis. And check out that Have a Coke sign with the Sprite Boy. I just love it. And the cool thing about Beale Street is that this is where Big Mama Thornton played Hound Dog. This is where Elvis was inspired by all of the early blues artists. This is where B.B. King and Elvis hung out. I mean, think about all of that. Think about how amazing that is in the music history right here on Beale Street. So this is what we got for lunch. It is a wonderful Memphis barbecue platter. They said the portions are kind of large, so Jeffrey and I decided to split it. So we've got potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, pulled pork, and of course, big old slices of thick bread. So Jeffrey and I are at an old general store called Schwab's, and they've turned it into a really cool little gift shop and soda fountain. And I'm sitting here looking out over Beale Street, drinking my malt shake, and thinking about how Little Richard would be playing on the piano, and Roscoe Gordon, and all of these other artists here that made Memphis famous for blues. I just can't get over how cool it is to actually be here where music history was founded. That is so cool. So we got some milkshakes. I got this chocolate shake, and I love that they've got the little paper straw dispenser. I think that's so awesome. Jeffrey had a malt with, no, what you have?
It was a hot fudge sundae.
Fudge sundae. Was it good?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was better than your shake.
Yeah, my shake was very good, but it wasn't as sweet. So much. I mean, that thing was full, and then I've got this, and it's a lot, but it's wonderful. Jeffrey's always happy every time he gets ice cream. Of course, I had to show this on the side of the building. How cool is this? Have a Coke. I'm assuming it's original, and it's the Sprite Boy. You don't see him in a lot of stuff. He was around during the war to kind of brighten people's spirits, and then in the later 50s, they got rid of him, so he really wasn't around a whole lot. But that is so cool, and this is Beale Street. There's Jeffrey there, and all of the fun signage on Beale Street. It is so cool to be in this spot. Oh, the signage on Beale is so cool, and this sign in particular really caught my attention because of the red striped graphics on it and the fact that it's advertising that this is an air-conditioned cafe. Can you imagine being in a time where they advertised they have air conditioning? I will never know what that was like to go without AC. I am so lucky. But look at all these cool signs. I cannot tell you guys how incredibly cool it is to be standing outside of the historic Club Handy on Beale. So many artists like Muddy Waters, Dizzy Gillespie, B.B. King, Nat King Cole, Count Basie, Johnny Ace, and Bobby Bland all played here in this historic spot. Elvis was influenced by so many blues artists here. The sheer volume of music history that was made right here at Club Handy is just wow. And I cannot believe I am finally here. What a monumental day it has been for me, getting to see Elvis Presley's home and Club Handy on Beale, and now standing in front of the birthplace of rock and roll, Sun Studios, founded by Sam Phillips. So much music history happened here, including that famous jam session with the $1 Million Quartet. Blue Suede Shoes was recorded here, Great Balls of Fire. Elvis recorded all of his early music on Sun before heading to RCA, and the entrance you're looking at right here is actually the entrance to the gift shop. It was added on later, but I do love that big guitar. That is so cool. If you keep walking down the street a little bit, you'll get to see the original entrance where Elvis walked through, and so many other greats, and of course, those neon signs, Memphis Recording Services, which was the original name before it became the Sun label. So this is the entrance to Sun Studios now, where you'll buy your tickets for the tour, grab some merch, and maybe a cup of coffee. I absolutely loved all the music memorabilia hanging on the walls. It was so interesting to look at. I did buy a Sun record, and I also got a sticker for my record player, which is a tradition I've had for a while. When I go to a cool record shop or recording studio, I must get a sticker to commemorate that special day. Okay, so before I take you into the recording studio, I have to show you this. This is an original broadcast booth where Daddy-O Drury Phillips would actually record his Red Hot and Blue radio show. This Control Room C was excavated from the Hotel Siska and brought to Sun Studios in 2013. Now, why is this cool? Well, it has a lot to do with Elvis. In July of 1954, Drury Phillips played Elvis Presley's first record, recorded at Sun, That's All Right, on his wildly popular radio show, and after 50 phone calls, 14 telegrams, and spinning the record over a dozen times, it was an instant hit. And what would Drury Phillips do when something became an instant hit? Well, he'd break the record over his microphone and call it a smash hit. Here it is, folks, the actual recording studio where Blue Suede Shoes was recorded. Oh my gosh, so cool to be in here. There's a photo of the $1 Million Quartet where they actually stood and recorded that famous jam session. Oh my gosh, now this is amazing. So if you were to walk into Sun Studios back in the day, you would land yourself in this room and be greeted by Marion Kay, Sam Phillips' most trusted assistant and secretary. Now, she really should be credited with discovering Elvis, because when Elvis first walked in Sun Studios, she set him up in the recording studio, took a couple of looks at him, heard his voice, and went to get Sam Phillips to say, hey, this guy's got something. So one of the coolest things about Sun Studios is nothing is stuck behind some stuffy glass. Sam Phillips requested that the studio be kept exactly as it was back in its heyday, even down to the ceiling tiles and the microphone. He wanted music fans to be able to come and experience the music history and touch all of the artifacts, which I think is incredibly cool. So I got to hold the microphone that Carl Perkins, Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, and so many others recorded some of their greatest hits with. Okay, so you might be thinking I'm making this next part up, but I promise you I'm not. If you know anything about the history of the Peabody Hotel, you will know about their famous ducks in the fountain. That's right, they have live ducks in the fountain every day inside the Peabody, a tradition dating back to the 1930s, and I thought this would be a perfect place to come have a cup of coffee this afternoon after we've been walking around so much in Memphis. Oh my gosh, they're here. I can't believe it. This is the fountain where the ducks come, and they're here every day at the Peabody Hotel. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Isn't this lobby absolutely gorgeous? Look at all of the detail, y'all. It smells so good in here. It is just a treat to be at the Peabody with the live ducks. I mean, look at them. They're just having a grand old time in the fountain. There's two guys there, and we got another fella here. How cute is that? They've got some beautiful fresh flowers. The Peabody ducks. Oh my goodness, I just can't get over how adorable these ducks are. The minute I walked into the hotel and saw them, I started squealing and patting Jeffrey on the shoulder as if I had just seen some major celebrity. But it really was just the ducks. I love them so much. The detail of this lobby is absolutely exquisite. I mean, look at that ceiling and those chandeliers. Holy cow. This reminds me so much of the Plaza Hotel in New York City, which is one of my favorite places to get tea. I love the details on this fountain, including that beautiful marble. So the Peabody Hotel was the perfect place to relax after a long day touring Memphis. We ordered coffee, and it came with these beautiful little lady fingers, and we also ordered a little chocolate treat. And isn't this chocolate duck just so much fun? So we got our waters, and I have to say, this is the most adorable swizzle stick I've ever seen. It's a tiny little duck, and look at the bottom, it's got duck flippers. How cute is that? I also wanted to show you this. I just noticed on my little plate with the lady fingers is a tiny duck sugar cube. How adorable is that? The lady also just came by and told us about the flowers here in the lobby. And Jeffrey and I were talking about whether or not they're real. And she said, yes, they are real. They change them every 2 days, I believe, or twice a week, something like that. Absolutely amazing. That's why the lobby just smells so good. We got to take a little look at the ducks. What are they doing now? Oh, that one's awake, and I think the other two are asleep. So they're having a nice nap while we have some delicious coffee.
This group's been here for about 3 months. They're about at the end of their tenure. They've here for 3 months. We get them when they're a year old, and we don't want to domesticate them. That's why they go back after 3 months, so they can live to be 28. They can live to be 28 years old. We send them back to the breeder that we've been using since the 80s, and they can either choose to migrate or stay on the farm. It's up to them. But this has been a tradition since 1933, and we figured out how to modify it to make sure that our duckies are safe and healthy and well maintained and taken care of. So they are treated like princesses while they're here. For sure, I feed them twice a day while they're down here, and then they're going to go upstairs to a fresh bed of lettuce. They're going to be taken care of, and then by Wednesday, they'll be heading back to the farm.
That's amazing. So how did you become a duck master here?
They had an opening. And I have a background in history and theater. So the two kind of went hand in hand. Yeah.
That's exciting. Can I see a little tour of your outfit?
There we go. So we've got the cane.
And then you've got
of course, my ropes. And then I've got my vest. And then I've got my little
duck tie. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. And your name is?
I'm Shannon.
Wonderful, Shannon. Thank you so much. You've been a delight.
Thanks for coming.
Oh.
We'll be marching out soon.
And do all the ducks have names?
We stopped naming them a couple years ago because we found that we were getting too attached.
Oh, to the ducks.
You give them names, it's harder to say bye-bye. But you can tell which is which based on the color tag that they wear. So I'll call the green one like Greenie Beanie. Red one's Red Devil, sometimes, depending. And the male never has a tag because you can always differentiate the male.
That's so cute.
So he's just bad boy in town.
Fantastic. Thank you, Shannon. The red carpet is being rolled out by the official Master of Ceremonies. Oh my gosh, how fun! They're getting ready to go up the elevator.
Alrighty, babies. Good job. It's time. Good babies. You did it!
Yay, ducks! Oh my goodness, one of the nicest gentlemen from the hotel just came up to us and got on one knee and presented me this special Peabody duck feather. He said one of the duckies left it behind on their way back up for the evening, and he wanted me to have this special feather in hopes that it would be useful for my vlog. Oh my gosh, my day has been completely made. I cannot believe it. So I'm going to have to stick this in one of my hats and wear it proudly and think of the ducks. So we are ending the day here in Memphis at the fabulous Beale Street again. It's so fun to walk the street at night with all of the live music spilling out from all of these wonderful restaurants and barbecue joints. It's amazing. I'm waiting for it to get dark just so I can get an iconic neon sign picture. And I love, love, love this street. It is so fun. Great place to walk around, get a drink, hang out, and listen to some classic blues. Well, guys, what a fun day it has been in Memphis. We've gotten to do and see everything here. It has been absolutely amazing. A dream come true for a music lover like me. And there is so much fun music out on the street. We are having fun bopping along, listening to some blues and checking out all this neon at night. But thank you for coming along to my Memphis vlog. I will look forward to seeing you on Instagram at vintage_and_vinyl. And I hope, as always, folks, that you will save that vintage, spin that vinyl, and then YouTube. Bye-bye, everyone.